Okay, so I've cleared all the little plastic pieces out of the belt holders, and now I'm going to reattach these back on and then put the belts back on again. I've got my rods attached. I got my effector attached. It's just number 10 screws. I showed you how to do the rods. It's just screwing the number 10 screws into the effector, and we have all the screws ready to go on these things. On the I call them sleds. Like I said, they call them belt tensioners or something like that. Where do they call it at? You can't find them when you want it. I can't find them. Oh, right here. Belt connector. They call it a belt connector. I call them sleds. When I did the K2A, they called them sleds, so that's where the name came from. And I've been keeping the name, basically, and saying the same name. You can call them whatever you want. I'm going to call them by the name they're using, and that's perfectly fine. Get the damn thing in here. Get that one lined up and get it started. We'll get the other one. Get it started. And the next one. And we got one more here to get going. Maybe. There we go. Got it. And now I'll just tighten them all down now that I got them all going here. And we'll do that. Then I'm going to attach this belt here on the bottom and put it through the little opening and put it in there. Maybe. Yeah, that's the right way. Something I have to think about what I'm doing here as far as let's see, where's okay, so the slot's on the other side, so I really want to do this. Oh, slot's on the side, so I want it like this. I want it to come out and come like that, so that's why I did not want it to stay in the slot. Why is it stopping and not going in the slot? Oh, the screw. Ah, really? So they had you put number 20 screws in, and number 20 is way too long. It's actually sticking through and causing the belt not to be held in now. So right here it says on their design on that part, find it here. Where is it? I'm not trying to find what I'm looking for when I want it. Oh, is that funny? Right here. It says M320s. Let me blow that up a little bit because it's really hard to read that. Right there it says M320. They're too long. It's going through and it's getting in the way of the belt tension. So M320 is not really going to work for this. I can show you in the picture. I'll take this back off. No, I can go up here. Do it for another one. Grab my other camera. Got it wrapped around everything now. I'll grab my other camera so I can show you this. And we'll tilt it down like we did before, maybe. Not that up, there we go. Let's see if I can get that to show on this. Bing. Yeah, I never can get things to go the way I want as far as, come on. Can you see? Okay, so you might be able to see it. It focused. Let me grab something as a pointer. So you see right here, inside there, and now it's out of focus. Isn't that weird? It was focused before, now it's out of focus. This guy. And configure video, and let's get that focus going again. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, look at that. So I turn on autofocus, it goes out of focus. Okay. Anyway, you can see right in here the little silver thing, and that's the screw sticking through, and now it's in the way for the belt. So what I want to do is I want to put a smaller screw in there, because I think that's not going to work. Unfortunately, you guys may not have smaller screws available to you when you do this. I'm going to try the 16. Maybe the 16, yeah, the 16 will be definitely shorter. So I'm going to try the 16s on here instead. I'm going to take it off of this one. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'll bring my camera back up again. Bring this camera up. Can you see there? So now you can see this part. I'm taking this out right here, this number 20 screw here, and I'm going to put a 16 in there instead of a 20. I think this is a 16 right here, and this is a 20 right there. Okay, so I'm going to try this 16 right here, and put it back in that hole. And that reaches the nut, and it won't go through the plastic this way. And it should leave me enough space. Let's see, I have another 16 right there. Do the same thing on this one. I'm going to turn this whole thing around. Got to be careful here because I got up my glass of wine that I'm drinking. I know I'm an alcoholic. Not really. But you get the idea. Bring that around. I just want to take the sled back off again. I've already got it on there. The only thing I need to do is change this screw out, and I'll put in the shorter screw, and solve my current problem with that, and that'll solve that one. And I need to do the same thing on the others as well. So I gotta see if I have some more 16s available and not 20s. That's a 20. This might be a 16 right here. Yeah. So I will replace the one on here. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to put this belt on, so that way I can lift this up out of my way while I'm doing the other ones, because I got to keep attaching and detaching, and it's going to be in my way here at the bottom. So I'm going to put this one in and get them started on the without the. Oh, of course, now I got the problem with the plastic that I pushed out when I screwed that thing in. Is going to cause me a problem because it created a bubble in the plastic now, and I gotta, of course, deal with that. Just pushing the belt again still. So I'm doing cutting out that bubble that was created using an X-Acto knife to cut it away. Because if I don't have it out of the way, I can't get the belt all the way in still. Come on. Okay, now the belt's all the way in. And I put this through like so, but unfortunately I have it on the outside of the effector. And of course, like that. Ah. Like that. And of course I went the wrong way, didn't I? Let's see. That needs to go. Where I want this to go. Yeah. Want to go like so. Maybe I can get this in here. Come on. Got it back in the slot. Put this back over the pulley down here. Between the effectors, or it's not going to work. Now I'll loop that, create the loop, and put it over the pulley on the motor, like that. And that goes through the slot, like that. And then pull this tight, and try and get this belt tight at the same time. I made it too long. I did too long on this end, and used too much of the. Remember, I cut these yesterday, and then I ran into this problem with the nuts not being inside the slot, and I created a nightmare for myself. Still may have that too long yet. Yep. Make that shorter. And again. Oh, now it's off the pulley here. And we're off the motor here. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to get that over that and into. I had it and it came off. And come on, get in there. Almost had it and it moved on me. I'm going to change the angle of this whole thing. And I got it in. Okay. So that one's in, and now I can raise that out of my way and work on the next one. And I got to replace the screws on that one. We have a couple more 16s here for that one. I got 20 here. That's not what I want to do with 16s. I got 4 more 16s. So keep that in mind. You want to use 16s. I'll have to trim this again on this one, just like I did the other one. That's that bubble where the screw went through. So pay attention to that. Don't do it before. If you can get 16mm long M3 screws, do it. Do not use the 20s, or you'll have the same problem I just had, where it bubbles out and will stop the belt from going in properly. Even though it says M320s on their picture. Don't listen to them. They're wrong 100%. You don't want to be using the wrong part. And cut this, careful here, cut this bubble out that I created. Man. There. Okay, so that bubble's gone. Put my M316 here. What I did a while ago, that's the reason I have so many different screws, is I bought a whole set of M3 screws on Amazon so that I would have whatever I needed when I need them. And every kit you get, they usually have extras. This kit probably isn't going to have any extras other than the M20s now that I'm not using them. But every kit usually has extra screws, and so I just keep putting those screws, measuring them, put them in the same place in the right slots inside my kit here, and that keeps my kit stocked up. And then we got that. Tighten it up. Don't have to worry about it getting weight. And don't make it super tight. Don't crush the little bearing. But you don't really have to worry too much about the bearing per se, because you know, it's like that. Get in between the effector out of the way. Then we'll attach this onto the bearing, and get it down there, get it lined up here, get started, and we'll do the next one. Maybe we'll get it started, maybe we won't. Okay, that one started. The next one. Yep. And one more, and we have, then they're all, basically this one's all in. Maybe. Doesn't want to start, doesn't want to go in. I had this problem before. So this one did not want to go. Oh, there, got it. Okay. I'll do what I did on the other one. I'm going to put this through do it over the, yeah, I'm doing it the right way again, or am I doing it wrong again? The slots on that side. Okay, wrong way. Okay. So I want it to come through the slot this way, is what I want to do. So it'll come around the play on this side. Put this guy on. Keep it fairly short this time so I don't fight with it later. And have to take it back off and back on and back off and back on. And take that guy, go up and over the gear on the motor. Bring this back around. Get it really tight. Got plenty of extra on this one. Oh, that's going to be loose. Tighten it up a little more. That might be too tight, I don't know. Yeah. If I can get that in there. Almost have it, and I don't quite get it, you know. Then they get a little too tight. So maybe I can get that on. Come on. Still too tight, I guess. Ooh, that might be too loose in that one. I had it and it came, and then the whole thing came apart on me and loosened up. That's too loose, or too tight, rather, again. Got that one. Ain't got it in. Alright. So now I got that one in. And one more to go. And I already know this is going to be backwards. So we'll just start with it from the beginning. And pull out my these M320s and clean out that slot so I can get the belt in. And yeah. And I'm going to move those pulleys back a little bit because I can see they're too far this way on the gear for the motor drive. That's why I didn't tighten them really tight, because I knew I was going to have to, that things wouldn't line up quite right and I'd have to move them. And that's why I did what I did. Remember I said don't tighten these too tight because you're going to end up moving them for alignment. And absolutely. I can show you what I'm talking about here when as soon as I get done with this, I'll show you what I'm talking about. The alignment I'm talking about. Come on. Come on. And then started there. Tighten that up. I got to trim that bubble that I created. Otherwise, it'll, like I said, it'll keep you in the way of the belt. Do not do what I did. Do not put the M20s in, like it said, the M320s, because you will have this same exact problem I just had. And you'll have to do everything that I'm doing that is an unnecessary step if you use M316s. And now we're ready to put this effector, or this belt holder, or whatever you want to call it, in. Hole lined up here, maybe. Sit down on me. We'll get started. Get the next one started. So get the next one started. Yep, and then the last one. Okay, I'll tighten them all. Alright, that's ready. Get the last belt ready. We want the excess of the belt going through the slot. Come on, get in there. Did I do something wrong? I know I trimmed that. Did I trim the wrong one? I can't get it in. Looks like it's hitting that bubble. No, I trimmed that one. I see it's trimmed. isn't clean enough. Does not want to go in. You see it's some residual in there on that. Yep. There, now it's out. Now it's out of the way. Okay, that one's in. Throw a loop around, put it around the pulley. Bring it through the middle here. Bring it back up. Pull a loop here. Maybe. And get it around that pulley. I see that's got the bubble on that one causing the problem too, but not important for that. Okay, so that one's in. Belt's tight, and we're basically done with the belts. The belts are finished. It's connected to the effector. So what I wanted to show you is right up here you can kind of see the belt. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's hard to tell, but the belt actually kind of slopes this way. And that's because the pulley is too far out, or it's too far toward the end of toward this end. You need to move the pulley back this way a little bit, and that will fix that problem. And so we'll be loosening the pulleys up and moving them back, or the not pulleys, the drive gear that's on the motor, to move those back to line those up better. There it is. Find the right one that fits that. That's one. There's two of them to loosen. I loosened one. Now loosen the other. And I'm going to push this back toward the motor a bit. And try and straighten this out a hair. That's too much. So it's pushing the belt the other way. And then I just, after I kind of got it straight, then I'll tighten the set screws back up again. And I'll tighten the second set screw. And that one's done. And we just basically do the same thing over and over again. So the way this works is the motor is going to move this up and down, just like that. This is how you get left and right, by moving only one. Move another one, you move it over to the other way, or move it to the back. And then the other one will move the other way. And all three together at the same time. I can't reach that all three, so if you move all three together at the same time, you'll end up with it basically coming down and homing in the center as we go down here. And so you want to basically create the home in the center of the plate. Maybe. You get the idea. Anyway, that's basically the idea of how it's supposed to work. And anyway, so that's that. Let's see, got all that. I think that's good for the night because it's 9 o'clock. I'd like to relax for a little while for once in the evening here. I have tomorrow night, which I can work as long as I want because I don't have to work on Saturday. And I can get this, hopefully everything will be complete tomorrow or early Saturday. I don't know what time Amazon will drop off my package with the clay. But I think we're about as far as we're going to go with this. And I think that's a good place to stop at this point. So we got this all done. Oops, sorry. Over here. Got the Effector, got the M3s, got the rods all put together, which we showed on the other video. Tensioners if you need them, but the way I tightened it, that won't need a tensioner on it. You can see here it's got all three of them on the Effector plate. And then we're going to start putting together the extrusion nozzle. So I mean, that's how close we are. When you start putting together the extrusion nozzle, you know you're getting near the home stretch on this thing. The only other thing we're going to have to do beyond all this is we need to load the firmware into the control board. And so we'll have to see how that works. They're talking, I think they're using Cura, which is why they provide a Cura profile within the software. Get my spring back in my needle nose. And so this is really very close to being done. I hope you're enjoying all this, and hope you're getting. I hope the information you're getting is good. Hope you're appreciating the information. My mistakes that I make, you get to see them, and you don't need to repeat my mistakes. So that's another good thing for you. Or when I run into a problem like those little tabs that stick in, so you can't get your nut inside. The fact that the M320s do not work, they will cause you a problem. So you know to fix that, remove the tabs, put the right screws in M316s. The little board that I showed you that was, they didn't show you plugging it in, but it's in there. I showed you that in the previous video. The problem with the plates, so you know, we had the two plate problems, the problem with the little tab inside the belt holders, and the wrong screw lengths. So those are all different things that we run into that have been problems with this design so far. Other than that, I think we've done pretty darn well. I had a problem right here. I'm going to take this one off. You can see that the rod sticks out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tighten it up. It sticks out too far, which is causing this to lift up on this side. So I need to fix that. I'm going to push these up, get them out of the way a little bit. I'm going to try and take this off, and I'm going to see if I can tighten that up and get rid of that gap. It's got glue in it, so it may not want to. That may be a problem for me. I don't know yet. I might be able to screw it in, though, because of the glue, and get it to tighten up that way. Oh, yes, it did. So I got rid of that gap. And now I can put this back in with my M3 10mm screw in here, maybe. Get it in there. Sometimes things don't want to cooperate. You know that? I'm sure you've all had that problem at one point. It just seems like everything you do, nothing wants to go the way you want it to go. Okay, so got that in, and now when I push this all down, maybe it'll sit fairly. Yeah, now it sits the way I expect it to sit. It's not uneven anymore, so that's perfect, and that's what we expected it to do. So that fixes that problem. That's about it. We're pretty much done as far as this part goes. Like we'll work on the extruder part of it tomorrow, or maybe go and do a little bit now. I don't know how long the video is. I'm not sure how long I've been running for this part of the video, because in the background I've already edited and I uploaded. Processing's done. I can publish this one now. So part 6 is getting published, and I will copy that. And I'll go to Facebook. And see if I can find anything on, yeah, it looks like these guys maybe are on the, yep. So let's see. Okay, so I put part 5. This is part 6 that I just finished doing. And then I have part 7 that is currently rendering. It's a little over halfway done rendering. And then I can upload it to Facebook. Or not Facebook, to YouTube. So let's see. Right here. The PART part 6 of the build. Boy. Yeah. PPL is now AVAIL, AVLE available. Available on my UBE, my YouTube channel. Control V to paste in the link and enter, and we'll post that. And so now part 6 is up. Ta-da, done. Alright, so part 6 is up, part 7 is rendering, and then I will upload it to YouTube. And once it's done. So thank you, Adam, for subscribing, Adam Burnett. I'd like to say thank you to everybody, but I can't remember who all. You know, I had like maybe 40 subscribers prior to doing this set of videos, and now what do I have now? Almost 60? 65? 66? I have 65 subscribers now. So I've added about a little over 20 subscribers since I started this video series. So let's see. Let's go ahead and go back to what we were doing and do the and start doing this. So we have the big. I managed this. Let's see. It doesn't say. It says mount fixed plate to 42 stepper motor. That doesn't tell me anything. That might be this is a 42 millimeter stepper motor. That's probably what they're trying to tell you. Because these motors are called NEMA 17 motors. And it's probably 17 millimeters. It ain't 17 millimeters. It's bigger than 17 millimeters. I don't know what to say on that. But anyway, this one says 42. I don't know why. And there's a plate. Is this the plate? No, not this one. Not this plate. Let's see. Okay, so this they're using a NEMA 17 motor for this. So this is the plate right here. Like that. You can see these little grooves. There's little grooves in here. You can't see that now. I'll turn on this camera again. So inside this thing, inside this plate there's some grooves. And if you see in the picture from the assembly, there's the grooves. So we're going to put that, we're going to mount that plate onto the motor. So we'll put the out of the way. We're kind of done with this for the moment while we do this. So it's not this motor. That's the motor that's probably going to drive this great big gear. I'll bring this camera closer now. Let's see, can we see that okay? No. Get right there. Alright. We have this motor in the plate. And then we're using M310s. Oh, isn't that incredible? So maybe They might be inside of the package that I just took these out of. Because I haven't run out of M310s. Oh, yep, there they are. They are in this package that this little spacer, or what you want to call it, came out of. They call it a fixed plate. Things that I'm not currently using, I will leave in the bag. This is one of the nozzles here for extruding the clay. And so I don't want to lose anything. So there's 5 screws in here. I'm going to put 1 screw back in the back because we only need 4 for the plate. And then we'll put it together. And let's see, there's my, that's not the right wrench. I know that's not, that's my M4. Okay, so I got all of them in now. So that part's done. Now imagine this is a thread and you were to screw something into that. That would be my guess on that. Let's go to the next step here. Okay, so we do have all of this going together. You see this is actually like a acts like a spring to a degree. It removes some of the, takes up some of the torque, so you don't have as much. So it doesn't do this back and forth, you know, like a stutter when you're turning it. It'll take, because this takes up that force. If I can get this bag open. Okay. Got that. So this is going to go on to the shaft. That's John's shaft. Just kidding. Yeah. So we have another motor yet too. So I got this motor. I got this motor. We're going to put this shaft on. It has 2 sets of set screws in it, and I need to add. Looks like I need to back them out because they aren't going to. Oh, it's not gonna, this doesn't even fit. That doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. Maybe the other way. Other way. Yep. There we go. Yeah, that's the way. Let's see. Where is the Allen wrench that fits that? So one way the hole is smaller, and that's the end that's going to have this threaded piece in. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. So we'll back these out a little bit. And there's a flat side on the motor. One of these needs to go in the flat, and one of them needs to go not in the flat. And they're not really telling you how far in to put this thing when you put it in. I'm going to put it pretty much almost even with the plate. Don't know if that's right. Don't know if it's wrong. So I got that one on, and I'll tighten the other one too. And then this screw. So there's a plastic acrylic piece and then a silicone piece. So we have everything is pretty much everything in this bag other than that right now. So you have this and this silicone piece, and the silicone piece has a hole in it. It's not punched completely out. So I'm going to try and push that piece out, which I just did. Okay, so this then, excuse me, that goes through, but you need the silicone piece as the last piece. So all of it goes through, even though the silicone is a little, a bit on the tight side. I don't know if how you're gonna. I guess you just stretch it around like that. I just did. And you put it through this piece, and then you're going to put that into the motor, which I may have went too far in. I think that's supposed to go right up against the end. It does. So I got it too far. I got this tensioner or torsion thing a little too tight, a little too far in. I want this to go to where the spacer actually touches. And then we're gonna. Oh, so they have a little bit of space on this. I took it all the way in, and they have a little bit of space still. So maybe I didn't need it that far. Okay, so we're gonna put that in. We got to get in far enough that the too much again. Far enough that we have enough bite on the set screws to hold it. And there is no flat spot on this screw. So the tighter you can get it, pretty much the better, otherwise it's going to slip. So I'm doing it this way. I'm retightening it off the motor. You can see this actually moves. It works like a little, almost like a spring. And then we'll put this guy on. Like that. Tighten the other one. Okay. Now I've got that. So now I've got that just like the picture here shows right here is where I'm at now. And now we got let's see, one of those tube things. Do I have one out? No. One of these guys. They feel like they're made out of Delrin, and that's what I'm assuming it is. And since it's thread, I don't know, wrong one again. Turn to the camera again, maybe. So, like I said, this is threaded on this end. That's actually going to go over and screw into this piece. This is what I said. I thought it looked like it screwed in, and it does. And we're going to screw that in. I would like that to be turned the other way. I think they want it to go up, and it's not up. I got to decide they can go. So there was nothing that told me which way to put that plate on, but I can undo this plate and turn the whole thing. I want this tightened all the way, but I also want it turned so that the plate goes up. If you know what I mean. They may not agree with what I'm doing, but if you look at the picture that we show that was currently showing, let me close that camera back. That picture shows that pointed up. If you look at it, if you see what I mean, if you see what I'm talking about. So I just turn this whole thing just like that, and then it's up, just like they have in the picture. And that'll give me the up position of the whole thing to be like the picture has. And then I just put it back together in the on the motor again. Maybe. There we go. And then we'll tighten it down. Okay, so now we got that pretty much the way they show in the picture. So this is going to go right in that piece right there, just like that. Like so. Now this one, they don't show the screws sticking out of the end. Mine, the screws sticking out of the end. But, oh God, keep doing that. Doesn't show it. Oh, here it does show it sticking out of the end right here. So they do show it sticking out of the end. I don't know why in this picture they don't, but in this picture they do. Right there. And then that all is going to go down, and it's going to go into the effector plate, like so. And then this piece screws into the bottom of the effector plate and into that, through the bottom of the effector into that part that we just made. And then the nozzle, let's see, they call it a 1.4 millimeter needle, but it's basically a nozzle. And that's going to go right on the end of this and screw in like so. It's actually threaded. And you screw it in, and then I'm going to raise this whole thing up like so. I'll take it up to the top here just to get it sort of out of the way. And then this is going to go down like so, and that's going to screw into that. Like that. I may need to get a pair of pliers or something to put that together, but there we go. It's just like that. They have it turned. Doesn't really matter. You turn it that way, you turn it this way, you turn it whatever way you want. So we got that all together.